Dear students, good morning. I hope everything is well with you. We will review all the chapters one by one. First, we will review chapter 1, networking today. Dear students, we will start our discussion from network components. If you see a network, there are different types of devices are connected in the network. In general, we will call those devices as hosts and networking devices. So we will see what is a host. Every computer on a network is called as a host or an end device. So this end devices can be a source or a destination device in a network. A user PC can act as an end device, and so it can act as a server also. So in common, if we see this host, a host can act as a server or it can act as a client. So first we will discuss about what is server and what is client. So first we will start with server. So in network, the server computers provides the information to the end devices. Server computers are used to offer many services, and different types of servers are used in the network. For example, email server, web server, file server. Now we will see the use of each of these servers. Email server is used to send and receive the email using standard email protocols like SMTP, IMAP or POP3. In this, the SMTP protocol is used to send the message and handle the outgoing emails, whereas the IMAP and POP3 protocols are used to receive the message or email, or it will handle the incoming messages or emails. Now we will see the web server. So web server processes the incoming network request over the HTTP protocol. You know what is HTTP protocol? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. The primary function of the web server is to store, process and deliver the web pages to the client. The communication between the client and the server takes place using the HTTP protocol. Now we will discuss about file server. So a file server is a dedicated computer system that allows the end devices to store the information. Also, it shares the information with other devices connected in the network. So that's all about the server. So we know that there are many servers are there in the network. For example, we have discussed about email server, web server and file server. Okay. Now we move to the client part. So what is a client? So the clients are the computers that send the request to the server and retrieve the information from the server. Say for example, a web client accesses the web page from the web server. An email client accesses the email from the email server. A file client accesses the files from the file server. If you see here, there are different types of servers are there, and the description of each of the server is given here. Dear students, we will discuss about the network models, different types of network models. There are different types of network models available. Say for example, peer-to-peer network model, client-server network model. First, we will discuss about the peer-to-peer network model. In peer-to-peer network model, the peers are the computer that are connected to each other. In this model, the source and the destination device communicates through the intermediate or neighboring device. There is no end-to-end communication between the source and the destination. It is only recommended for a small network. In this model, each device will act as a client, also it will act as a server. So when a device sends the message, it will act as a server. When a device receives the message, it acts as a client. So there are a lot of advantages and disadvantages of this peer-to-peer network. We'll discuss the advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are it is easy to set up, it is less complex, lower cost, and this is used for simple tasks like transferring the files and sharing the printers. Disadvantages: there is no centralized administration, there is no central control device, there is no router or switch involved in this, and this is not secure. We are not going to authenticate all the devices, it is difficult to authenticate, and it is not scalable. We cannot add a lot of devices, we cannot increase the size of this peer-to-peer network, not possible, and it performs very slow. So these are all the drawbacks of this peer-to-peer network. Now we will discuss about end devices. Every computer on a network is called as an end device. End device can be a source or a destination device in a network. A user PC can act as an end device. A server also can act as an end device. The end devices are classified as clients and servers. Say for example, let us look at this diagram topology. We have two LAN and we have an internetwork. If you see this LAN is composed of different kinds of devices. In this LAN, how many end devices are there? So IP phone is an end device, PC is an end device, this is an end device, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Server is also an end device. I already said that the end devices are classified as clients and servers. So this is also an end device, this is also an end device. Server is also an end device, the PC is also an end device. So these end devices are responsible for generating the message and sending the message to the destination. So an end device generates the message and sends the message to the networking devices. For example, this user wants to send a message to this user. Both users are connected in different LAN. So the end device, this PC is an end device, it generates the message and it sends the message through the intermediate device or networking device. The switch is a networking device. The switch will forward the message to its gateway. That gateway is a router. Now the router will forward the message to the next hop. That is the next hop router. The next hop router will forward the message to the next hop router. So it will forward the message to the switch. The switch will forward the message to the destination. Now we will discuss about intermediary devices. The role of the intermediary device is to interconnect the end devices. For example, you want to create a network. How do you create a network? By connecting all the devices. To connect all the devices, we require some intermediary devices. Say for example, I want to create a network with 4 or 5 computers. For that, I require an intermediary device. I require a switch. A switch is responsible to connect all the end devices, all the PCs, and to form a local area network and to form a LAN. So, a switch is an intermediary device that connects all the computers together and it creates a local area network. There are different types of intermediary devices in there. Say for example, switches, routers, wireless access point, and firewall. Okay. Now we already discussed about the usage of switch. Now we'll see what is the use of the router. So router is also an intermediary device. So it is used to interconnect two local area network. If you want to communicate from one local area network to another local area network, definitely you require a router. Without the support of the router, you cannot communicate from one LAN to another LAN. Okay. Next, we will discuss about the wireless access point. A wireless access point is used to interconnect all the wireless devices like mobile phones, laptops, and tablets. Now we will discuss the role of the intermediate devices. Intermediate devices manage the data flow on the network. It is responsible for regenerating and retransmitting the signals. Actually, the routers are responsible to do it. The routers are responsible for regenerating and retransmitting the signals to the destinations. Okay. Next, it is responsible for, the intermediate devices are responsible to notify or inform the communication failures and other errors to the devices connected in the network. Network media. To send and receive the data across the network, we need a communication medium. The communication medium is responsible for carrying the message from source to destination. Different types of communication mediums are available. So, metallic media or metallic wires within the cable. Usually this is a copper cable. In copper cable, the data signals are transmitted in the form of electrical impulses or electrical signals. The next type of media is glass or fiber media. Usually we will call it as a fiber optic cable. In this fiber optic cable, we will use the core as a glass. This glass is responsible for carrying the data from the source to the destination. In this, we will use the pulse of light to transmit the data. That means the source converts the data in the form of light signals and transmit through the fiber optic cable. Finally, wireless transmission. The wireless transmission, for example, we can use metallic cables and fiber optic cables are used in the wired network. In wireless network, we will use the wireless transmission media. In this wireless transmission media, it uses the modulation of specific frequencies to electromagnetic waves. So it will convert the data signals in the form of specific electromagnetic waves or electromagnetic signals, and then it gets transmitted in the medium. Or represent the network like this. We have to use the appropriate symbols to represent the devices within the network. There are different types of ND devices are given. So if you see here, desktop computer, laptop, printer, and then telepresence and phone, wireless tablet, IP phone. Okay. So these are all the different types of symbols belongs to the ND devices. And then if you see the intermediate devices, list of intermediate devices are here: wireless router, LAN switch, router, multi-layer switch, and then firewall appliances. And then what type of media you are going to use to connect all these intermediate devices and the end devices. Say for example, I may use the LAN media, I may use the WAN media. Where do you use the LAN media? If I am going to connect a PC and the switch, I will use the LAN media. If I am going to connect the wireless router and the mobile phone, I will use the wireless tablet. If I am going to connect this wireless router with this wireless tablet or wireless router with this laptop, I will use the wireless media. I want to connect a router with another router. If I want to interconnect two routers, then I will use the WAN media. So apart from this, we have to know the other important terms, the network interface card, and then physical port interface. You know what is the use of the NIC card, network interface card? It is a device which allows the computer to communicate with the network. Right. Now, if you see this physical port and interface, these terms are often interchangeable. Topology diagrams. Topology diagrams are of two types. One is physical topology diagram, the other one is logical topology diagram. Physical topology diagram illustrates the physical location of the devices, end devices as well as the intermediate devices and cable installation. If you see this diagram, the physical topology diagram represents the physical location or geographical location of each device. Say for example, server room number 2158. In that room we can find web server, email server, file server, switch 1, rack 1, where these devices are available in that server room. In that server room, uh, the router is available in shelf 1, rack 1. The switch is available in rack 1, shelf 2. The web server is available in rack 2, shelf 1. So, using this physical topology diagram, an administrator or anyone can easily identify the physical location of the device. So that is the use of this physical topology diagram. You can easily identify where the device is available in the organization. The location of the device can be identified easily by using the physical topology diagram. Okay, now we go to the logical topology diagram. So logical topology diagram illustrate the devices, ports and the addressing scheme of the network. Look at this diagram. We have same different types of network. In this network we are not going to represent the physical location of the devices. Instead of that, we are going to represent the network addresses, port numbers. This type of informations are provided in this logical topology diagram. Say for example, if you see the web server, email server and file server, these are all connected in the network 192.168.10.0. So this is the network address of these devices, and then these devices are connected. For example, if you see the web server is connected in the switch in the interface G01. The email server is connected in the switch in F02. File server is connected in F03. Like that, the switch and the routers are connected. How it is connected? The switch is connected in G01 and it is connected with the router in the interface G01. So like that we are able to see how these devices are connected, in which interface these devices are connected, what is the IP address of that network, what is the IP address of each device. So we will come to know all the logical information about the network through this logical topology diagram. So now we will discuss about the LANs and WANs, local area networks and the wide area networks. Local area networks, the LAN is a group of computers and network devices connected together, usually within the same building or local office or school or house. If you see, by definition, LAN connection must be high speed and relatively expensive. See, there are some important points about the LAN. So LAN is used to interconnect the end devices in a limited area. For example, if you want to connect some PCs, printer, IP phone, everything together with the server, if you want to connect all these devices, you can use a LAN. So a LAN interconnects all the end devices in a limited area or as in a small geographical area. Okay. If you see, the LAN is administered by a single organization or individual. We know that LAN is a private network. So LAN comes under a private organization or single organization. So that organization is responsible for managing the LAN. So LAN is administered by a single organization or individual. The next thing, LAN provides the high speed bandwidth to the internal devices. So it's true. So if you see the speed of the local area network, it is very high compared to WAN. Okay, now we will discuss what is a WAN. If you see, a WAN, a wide area network, is not restricted to a geographical location, although it might be confined within the bounds of a state or country. A WAN connects several LANs and may be limited to an enterprise, a corporation or an organization, or accessible to the public. So here if you see this diagram, branch 1 LAN is there, branch 2 LAN is there. If you see, there is a router in branch 1 LAN and a router in branch 2 LAN. The connection between the branch 1 LAN router and the branch 2 LAN router is the WAN connection. That is the WAN connection, is marked in the red color line. So if you see that, that is a symbol used to represent the WAN connection. Now we will discuss about the important points about the WAN. WAN interconnects multiple LAN. If you see here, branch 1 LAN is interconnected with the branch 2 LAN with the help of a WAN. So a WAN is used to interconnect the LANs over the wide geographical area. If you see these WANs are administrated by the internet service providers. So it may involve multiple administrator to manage the WAN. Compared to LAN, this WAN always provide slower speed links between the LAN. So we already know what is internet. So the two new terms are here, intranet and extranet. So we know what is internet. Internet is a worldwide collection of interconnected LAN and WAN, or it is a network of network. So internet is a network of network. So there are a lot of definitions are available for internet. So now we will see focus on what is intranet and extranet. An intranet is a private collection of LAN and WAN operated by a large company. It is internal to an organization that is meant to be accessible only to that organization members. So for example, our college may have branches in 2-3 places, or we will take an example of Lulu is having branch in Nizwa, Muscat, in many places. So it allows the employees of the Lulu to access all the branch network. So that is what intranet. So intranet is a private collection of LAN and WAN. It's a collection of LAN and WAN. Okay, now we'll see what is an extranet. An extranet is also an intranet. It's similar to an intranet. So that is accessible by the organization members, and also it allows some people from outside the company or possibly from other organization. So that is a big difference between the intranet and the extranet. I hope you understand. Intranet allows only the employees of that organization to access the network, whereas the extranet allows the employees of that organization and as well as the employees of the other organization to access the network. So there is a major difference between the intranet and the extranet. Now we will see what are the different possibilities are available to get the internet connection for home and a small office. If you see, for a home and small office, we have different options to get the internet connection. We can get the internet connection through cable, DSL, cellular, satellite, and through dial-up telephone. If you see the cable uses the high bandwidth, so always on. The internet offered by the cable television service providers. So in many countries we have the cable television services are there, cable TV services are there. Through the cable TV services, they are providing the internet. Today we don't have. Today we are all having our own satellite antennas, and we are receiving the signals, television signals directly. So today it is not in use. Okay, we'll go to the second option, DSL. So DSL is a high bandwidth internet connection, so it is also always on. This internet connection runs through the telephone line. This is actually we are using today, DSL. And then the next one is cellular. If you have the mobile phone or cell phone, you can get the internet through the cell phone, and you can use the tethering, and you can share that internet to other devices. Satellite, the major benefit to rural areas without internet service providers. Say for example, people who are living in Jabalakar, maybe they don't have the Omantel internet connection or Orido internet connection, they may use the satellite connection to get the internet. So this is an option. People who are living in desert or mountains, for them this option is very useful. They can get the internet connection using satellite. The next one is dial-up telephone. This is an expensive method. This is a very traditional method. It is used in the beginning of the internet era, whereas it provides a low bandwidth and it requires a modem. Without modem, it is not possible to get the internet connection. Now we will discuss about business internet connection. For our business, if we require internet connection, what are the different types of internet connections available for the business? We'll see. There are different types of connections available: dedicated lease line, Ethernet WAN, DSL, satellite. Okay. Now we'll see what is dedicated lease line. There is a reserved circuit or reserved connection runs between the service provider and our business location. So this connection completely used by our organization or that particular organization. Usually it is a shared line between multiple users, whereas in this dedicated lease line, that the connection between the company and the service provider is completely utilized by the organization. That means it is not shared with anyone. So it is a private connection. Always it is very speed and without any traffic, you can send and receive the data. So the next one is the Ethernet WAN. If you see this extends the LAN access technology into the WAN. The next one is DSL. So we have a particular DSL here, business DSL. So this is available in various formats, including SDSL. For example, if you see, we have ADSL and we have SDSL. ADSL means asymmetric digital subscriber line. SDSL means symmetric digital subscriber line. If you see in our home, we are using the ADSL connection, asymmetric digital subscriber line. If you see in this, the upload and download speed are different, not same. Whereas in SDSL, the upload and download speed are same. So that is the difference between the ADSL and the SDSL. ADSL is used in home and small office internet connection, whereas SDSL is used in the business internet connections. Satellite. So I already said that this satellite connection, this can provide a connection when the wired solution is not available. Say for example, if your organization is in Jebel Akhtar or is in Bidya desert, somewhere in the desert, near to the desert, if you don't have the wired internet connection, in that situation you can opt this connection. Okay. Now corporate business connections may require the internet with some requirements. What are the requirements? For example, if a corporate or a business requires the internet connection, definitely it should meet some requirements. What are their requirements? The requirements are, first, it should have the high bandwidth. It should provide high bandwidth. Then it should be a dedicated connection. That means that internet connection should be only used by that organization. It is not shared with anyone. So there is a private connection runs between the organization and the internet service provider. So that is what a dedicated connection. And managed services. So all the services are managed by the internet service providers. So these are all the things about the business internet connection. Converging network. So what is this converging network? If you see 20-30 years before, we are using the traditional separate networks. So if you see an organization, the organization may have different type of devices, computers, mobile phones and televisions, etc. To connect all these type of devices, they will use a separate network. For example, to connect all the computers, printers, everything, servers, everything, they will create a network, and they will call that network as a data network. And to connect all their telephones, intercoms and PBX, they will private branch automation, a branch exchange. To connect all these devices, they will use a telecommunication network or telephone network, and to connect all the TVs in the organization, they will use the television network, so or cable TV network. So if you see in an organization, they will run or they will maintain or manage three different types of network to connect the devices. Actually, this is very expensive and it is very difficult to manage all these type of devices, and each type of network will use different technologies, and it will use different set of rules and standards. It is very complex to manage such a network. Later, this converged network was evolved. This converged network can deliver data, voice, video over the same network. That means it is possible to connect a computer, a mobile phone, a television network, everything together. So that means a converged network is a single network which provides different types of services, which provides a data service, voice service, video service. So one network can provide multiple services. Also, the network infrastructure of this converged network uses the same set of rules and standards to manage all the type of devices. So this is an added advantage in the converged network. Network architecture. So if you see the network architecture, it refers to the technologies that supports the network infrastructure, which moves the data across the network from one end to other end. There are four basic characteristics that the underlying architecture need to address to meet the user expectations. So the four basic characteristics of the network architecture are fault tolerance, scalability, quality of service, and security. So what is fault tolerance and scalability? If you see a fault tolerant network, it limits the impact of a failure by limiting the number of affected devices. If you see here, there are two networks. These two networks are connected with its gateway. The gateway is connected with another router. If you see, all the four routers are connected together. Why all the four routers are connected together? If you see the router, one particular router, it is circled with the marked with red color circle. For example, understand that that router is not working. The network connected with that router, how it will access the internet? So if that router fails, the network associated with it cannot access the internet. So in this case, if you see that gateway router is connected with the router in its diagonal. So it is represented by using a green color line. Okay. So now the router will communicate with that router, and it will communicate with the internet. So if we maintain the multiple path between the devices, if any one of the path fails, we can use the alternative path and we can reach the internet, or we can reach the destination. So a fault tolerant network should have multiple paths between the devices. If one of the path fails, it will use the other path to reach the destination. This is what the fault tolerance. So if you want to create a fault tolerant network, you have to establish multiple paths between the devices. Okay, now we will see what is scalability. See, a scalable network can expand quickly if you want to add more number of devices in a network. For example, look at the second network diagram. In that already we have two networks. Now we are going to add a additional network. We are going to add a new network with that. So usually if you add more number of resources in the network speed will be affected, or the network performance will be affected. So a scalable network can expand quickly and easily to support the new users and application. The main important thing is it should not impact the performance of the services to the existing users. Without affecting the existing users, the new user should be added, or new users and application should be added in the network. It should not affect the existing users. This is what the scalability. Quality of service and network security. Quality of service is a parameter which is used to ensure the reliable delivery of the content for all users. How the network is performing, whether the network is performing and providing the quality of service to the users or not. So this QoS is a primary mechanism which is used to ensure the reliable delivery of the contents for all the users, whether the network is providing the services on time or not. This is ensured by using the QoS, quality of service. Okay, now we will go to the network security. There are two main types of network security. So one is network infrastructure security, another one is information security. What is network infrastructure security? In our network we may have routers, switches, many devices. We have to secure our devices from the unauthorized users. Also, using network, we will communicate, we will exchange the information. When we exchange the information, it should be safely exchanged from the source to the destination. That means the data should not be tampered or disclosed by the unauthorized users. So we need these two main types of network security. So what are they? Network infrastructure security, and other one is information security. So the network infrastructure security deals about the physical security of the network devices. How we are going to physically secure all the devices, the routers and switch. Why we have to secure? We have to prevent the unauthorized access to the devices. We should not allow any unauthorized users to access our routers and switches. So we have to physically prevent these devices from the unauthorized users by taking some measures. The next one is information security. The information security protects the information or data transmitted or exchanged over the network. So how do you do this? By using encryption, we can apply this. So if we encrypt and send the data in the network, nobody cannot understand what we are sending. Today, there are a lot of new trends, recent trends are available in the network. So we'll see some of the new trends. BYOD, bring your own device, online collaboration, video communication, cloud computing. So these are all the new features, new trends available today. So BYOD, bring your own device. So this allows the users to use their own devices, or they can connect their own devices with the organization and access their organization network. So the organizations will give opportunity for the employees or the users to access the organization network. So today we are using this in our life. Students, staffs, we are bringing our own devices like mobile phone, laptop, and tablets. We are connecting with our college network and we are accessing all the resources. So this is the one BYOD. The next one is online collaboration. So this online collaboration allows to collaborate and work with other users over the internet or over the network on the joint projects. So today we all know that we are using this Google Docs or chat sheet we are using, and we are simultaneously we are sharing the same sheet. You all know that we already have an experience on using this Google chat sheet and all simultaneously. So this is what an online collaboration. So we can use a lot of collaboration tools like Cisco WebEx. We can use this tool to conduct online meeting, and we can collaborate. We can discuss at the same time. We can conduct a meeting with the help of this WebEx. and we can conduct lectures through this WebEx. Okay. So this type of online collaboration gives users a way to instantly connect and interact. So if you see in the online collaboration, we have the facility for sending the instant messages or posting the images, posting videos, links, and there is a facility for voice interaction. So a lot of facilities are available today in online collaboration. So it's a fantastic innovation, and it is very useful also. The next one is video communication. And the video communication allows to make the video calls to anyone regardless of where they are located. So before we are using the only the telephone. So on the other end, who is talking, we are not able to see the face or the person. Today it is possible. If we use a video call, we can see the person who is talking at the other end. We are able to see that person. So this is a very powerful communication today. The next one is cloud computing. So the cloud computing is a emerging technology. This allows us to store the personal files or backup our data on the servers over the internet. Before and all, we have to carry a external hard disk or a flash drive or a CD or DVD, something we have to store our data. For example, you are continuing your work in your home during weekends, so you have to copy all your data from your organization and flash or in any other storage device, and you have to take it to your home. Nowadays it is not required. Simply backup your data in the cloud, and after going home, simply you can download the data from the cloud. So the applications can also be accessed using the cloud. Also, it allows the business to deliver to any devices anywhere in the world. So many advantages are there. Uh, so new technology and trends applicable to the home. So today the smart home technology is very famous, and it's an emerging technology. It's a growing trend that allows the technology to be integrated into everyday appliances, and it allows them to interact with other devices. Say for example, if you have a cloud or the smart home technology, using the smart home technology, you can control all the electrical appliances in your home. So you can no need to switch off the light by going and pressing the switch. So from your mobile device, or by using the Alexa, or by using the Google smart devices, you can control all the devices. Even you can lock your door, you can open the door, you can switch off the lights, you can switch off the fan, AC, everything we can control. Even we can keep our car on before we reach the car. We can turn on the ACs also in the car. Everything is possible today. This is what the smart home technology. The next thing is power line networking. What is this power line networking? Say for example, uh, if there is no option available to set up a wired network or wireless network in a particular place, in that place we can use this power line networking. So to use this power line networking, we require a special device called power line adapter. So using the standard power line adapter, so you can connect your devices on the electrical outlet. So the devices are connected with the standard power line adapter. This standard power line adapter is connected in the electrical socket. So the data sent from the devices are sent to this power line adapter. So this power line adapter converts the data or send the data on certain frequencies in the electrical cable. So this is a new invention which is useful, and using this technology no need to set up a separate wired or wireless connection at our places. So we can use the existing electrical lines as a internet channel or as a network channel for communication or to carry the data or exchange the data. Really it is a new and innovative technology. Network security threats. So to overcome the security threat, we must implement the network security. Network security is an integral part of networking, regardless of the size of the network. No matter whether it is a small network or a big network, definitely we should implement the network security in any type of network. We should not see the size of the network. We have to implement the network security to avoid the security threats or to overcome the security threats. If you see the security threats, it is classified into two types: external security threats and internal security threats. So what are the different types of external security threats? The external security threats are viruses, worms, Trojan horse. So these are all externally. They will send this into our network and they will try to affect our network or devices in our network, or they will try to uh, spoil or damage the devices or interrupt the connections. Okay, so the other external threats are spywares, adwares, zero-day attack, uh, threat actor attacks, denial of service attack, data interception and theft, identity theft. These are all the different types of external threats available today, and we discussed already about this in the class. So now we will see what are the different types of internal security threats. Lost or stolen devices. Sometimes the employee itself may steal the devices or steal the information, or sometimes the employees misuse the devices or information, or they will disclose the secret informations, or they will do some malicious activities inside the organization. So these are all considered as internal threat. Security solutions. How to mitigate the security risk and how to avoid the network security threats. So we have to implement the solution for the security threats. So security must be implemented in multiple layers using more than one security solution. For example, if you see the network security components for home or small office network, we can use antivirus, anti-spyware software. If you see this antivirus and anti-spyware software, this type of softwares are installed on the end devices. Antivirus, anti-spyware softwares, these are all used to protect the end devices connected on the network. You know what is the purpose of antivirus and anti-spyware softwares? So now we need to protect our network. So how to protect the end device? By using the antivirus and anti-spyware. How to protect the network? So for that we have to use the firewall. So we have to use the firewall filtering. So the firewall filtering used to block the unauthorized access to the network. So if you want to protect your network from the unauthorized users who are accessing the network outside the organization, you have to use the firewall filtering.